Imagine this, your eyes suddenly open, not because of an alarm clock, but because of the terrifying cries of birds echoing through distant valleys. Cold air cuts across your skin. The sky is slowly turning blue, and in front of you, a small fire is still burning. Around that fire, a few humans are slowly waking up. Someone adds wood to the flames. Someone holds a child close to their chest. Someone sharpens the tip of a spear with stone. And then you realize something terrifying. If these people fail to find food today, someone may not survive tonight. This was the real world of ancient humans. A world before jobs, before salaries, before offices, before schools, before schedules. And yet, humans survived the Ice Age, hunted giant beasts, crossed entire continents, created language, mastered fire, and eventually built civilization itself. But the biggest question is when jobs didn't exist. What did humans actually do all day? Did they spend every moment hunting? Was their life nothing but fear and hunger? Or did ancient humans live with a kind of freedom that modern humans have completely lost? Because the deeper scientists study our past, the more shocking the truth becomes. In 1972, anthropologist Marshall Sahlins described ancient hunter-gatherers as the original affluent society. Not because they were rich with money, but because they had enough. Enough food, enough time, enough rest, enough connection. Something modern society is slowly losing. Now imagine a morning nearly 40,000 years ago, the open plains of Africa, small tribe waking up around a fire. Children still asleep beside their mothers, smoke rising into the freezing air. An old woman feeding wood into the flames, hunters sharpening spears. And somewhere beyond the trees, a predator is already watching them. This wasn't a movie. This was real life. And in that world, no human survived alone. Forget the lone wolf fantasy you see in movies today. In the ancient world, being alone usually meant death. Humans survived because they stayed together. The moment the sun rose, the tribe began reading nature itself. Did it rain last night? Which direction did the animals move? Are there signs of another tribe nearby? Could predators be hiding close to camp? Even children had responsibilities. No schools, no books. Nature itself was their classroom. Young boys learned to recognize animal tracks. Young girls learned to identify roots, fruits, edible plants, and medicinal herbs. But unlike what many people believe today, men were not the only hunters. Scientists have discovered hunting weapons buried beside women in ancient graves, meaning everyone mattered, everyone contributed. Now think about this. Imagine memorizing hundreds of miles of territory without maps, without GPS, without technology, knowing where water could be found, which plants were poisonous, where prey migrated, where enemies lived. Ancient human brains were trained differently. Every sound mattered. Every smell mattered. Even silence could signal danger. Now imagine the afternoon. A group of hunters moving slowly through tall grass. No talking, only hand signals. Because one tiny mistake could destroy the entire hunt. And suddenly, they see it. A massive herd. Maybe deer. Maybe bison. Maybe even mammoths during the Ice Age. Their hearts began pounding. Because hunting wasn't just about food. It was war against nature itself. And often, humans lost. Archaeologists have discovered skeletons with horrifying injuries. Broken ribs, crushed skulls, shattered legs. One mistake, and death. And yet, humans became the deadliest predator on Earth. Why? Because humans could cooperate. They could plan together, share knowledge, teach one another, create strategies. That was humanity's true superpower. But here's another surprising truth. Ancient humans didn't survive on meat alone. Scientists believe much of their food actually came from plants, roots, fruits, seeds, and honey. Women and children gathered edible foods from nature. They knew which plants healed wounds, which reduced fever, which could kill you. This was their survival science. And perhaps the strangest thing of all, there were no job titles, no careers. Life itself was the work. As evening approached, the tribe returned to the fire. And now came humanity's greatest invention. Not the internet, not smartphones, fire. Fire changed human evolution forever. Cooked food gave humans more energy. And around those flames, humans stayed together longer at night. Perhaps this is where language truly evolved. Because night was terrifying. Predators moved through the darkness. But fire was humanity's first shield against the dark. And around those flames, the first stories were born. Stories about animals, spirits, death, the stars. Thousands of years before Netflix, stories were entertainment. Stories were education. Stories were warnings. An old hunter tells children, never go near that river. Large predators live in that forest. And the children listen with fear and wonder in their eyes. This was the world's first cinema, the first theater, the first human storytelling. Scientists believe storytelling is one of the reasons humans conquered the earth, because stories carried knowledge across generations. And perhaps this is also where religion began. Because when ancient humans looked into the night sky, they had no answers. Why does lightning strike? What happens after death? Why does the sun always return? What exists beyond the stars? And when humans cannot understand something, they create stories. That is why the first mythologies were likely born around ancient fires. Some scientists even believe astronomy began during these nights, as humans used the stars to navigate across the earth. Now think about this. After work today, most modern humans stare into screens. But ancient humans, they stared into the sky. They listened to nature. And slowly, they began feeling connected to the universe itself. But their lives were not peaceful all the time. Fear was always present, because darkness was the greatest terror of the ancient world. Imagine this, midnight. The fire is slowly dying. Suddenly, a terrifying sound echoes from the forest. The entire tribe becomes alert instantly. Children hide beside their mothers. Some people grab burning branches, because outside, there may be a lion, a pack of hyenas, or another human tribe.
Yes.
Other humans were often just as dangerous as wild animals. Tribes fought over territory, food, water, resources. But hidden inside that brutal world, something beautiful was also growing. Compassion. Archaeologists discovered skeletons of injured humans who survived for years despite broken bones. That means someone cared for them. Think about it. A human with a broken leg cannot survive alone in the wild. And yet they survived because their tribe refused to abandon them. This was humanity's true strength, not just intelligence, but empathy, the ability to feel another person's pain. And perhaps that is something modern society is slowly losing. Now imagine the sky is beginning to turn blue again. Birds begin singing. Another morning arrives, and soon human life would change forever. Because one day, humans discovered something that transformed civilization itself, seeds. For the first time, humans realized if we plant food, food can grow on its own. And that moment changed history forever. Around 12,000 years ago, humans began farming. They planted crops, domesticated animals, built villages, and settled permanently in one place. At first, this sounds like humanity's greatest achievement. But many scientists believe it was also the beginning of humanity's greatest trap, because farming created permanent work. Now humans had to wake up every day to protect crops, carry water, care for animals, harvest fields, and if the weather failed, entire families could starve. Before farming, humans followed nature. After farming, humans became tied to land. And slowly, civilizations appeared. Cities rose, kings emerged, armies formed, taxes began, and eventually, jobs were born. Now humans no longer worked only to survive. They began working for systems, for rulers, for money. And thousands of years later, modern humans still wake up every morning to do the same thing. Work, work, and more work. But here is the strange truth. The human brain was never fully designed for modern life. Most of human evolution happened in forests, beside rivers, under stars, inside small tribes. That is why forests still calm us, why campfires feel comforting, why the sound of the ocean brings peace. Because for thousands of years, that was our real world. And maybe that is why millions of people today dream about escaping, going into the mountains, turning off their phones, disappearing into nature. Because deep inside every modern human, an ancient human is still alive. A human being who wants freedom, connection, meaning. A human who was never born simply to work. Now imagine, if an ancient human suddenly appeared in today's world, what would shock them the most? The skyscrapers, the internet, the cars? Maybe not. Perhaps the strangest thing would be this. Billions of humans spend most of their lives doing work they don't even love. Because thousands of years ago, work and life were not separate things. Hunting, protecting family, telling stories, living beside nature. That was life itself. But today, we have turned life into schedules, deadlines, notifications, and endless stress. And maybe that is why modern humans feel so empty inside. But this story does not mean ancient life was perfect. It was brutal, dangerous, filled with hunger, fear, and death. But hidden inside that harsh world was a truth modern society has forgotten. Humans were not born merely to survive. Humans were born to feel, to connect, to create, to tell stories. And perhaps that is why you are still watching this video right now, because somewhere deep inside you, that ancient human is still alive. And the next time your alarm clock rings in the morning, take 1 second to think, thousands of years ago, what would your ancestors have been doing at that exact moment? The past still holds countless secrets. If you enjoy uncovering the hidden history of humanity, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more fascinating documentaries.